Hi, console survivors. Some bad news on console development, unfortunately. The link will be in the description so you can read for yourself. But to sum it up, Telltale is being nasty and not playing ball. One could add some rude words, which I'll leave to the viewers, but it seems they got their license to publish terminated. And now they're refusing to cooperate and hand over control to the FunPimps, so the console version can't continue for the moment. Thanks Telltale for shitting over all the console players who've paid you money. You could have been gracious here with a view to let the game continue smoothly, but instead you act out and probably hold out for money to release Control. Not cool. As many or most know, Telltale was starting to wind down its business with the aim of focusing on serving out some existing partnerships, but other than that, they canceled pretty much everything else. I made a video of that recently too, to outline how Telltale was the publisher, Iron Galaxy was doing the development of porting from PC to console, and the FunPimps, well, they did the game development on PC and they owned the intellectual property to the game, meaning on all platforms. The FunPimps are saying that they want to support console and they're working on further behind the scenes items to be able to do that. And they have been holding back from further information until they have more clear information to give. So today, well, yesterday I suppose, more news came out from the FunPimps, as can be seen on the 7 Days to Die website. Reading through, the FunPimps have terminated the publishing contract. Yay! So now theoretically they can find another publisher. However, they seem to have some problems on getting access to the console version, which presumably is not the IP of the FunPimps as such, considering it's been created by Iron Galaxy but likely under contract from Telltale. Complicated, isn't it? Well, apparently the discussions with Telltale to get control over the console version has been failing. What does this really mean in plain speak? Well, this is where it's a bit complex and it comes down to contractual terms that we don't actually have. In this case, the contractual terms might not be in favor of the FunPimps, which could be why they're in a bit of a pickle. Since Telltale hired Iron Galaxy, Telltale likely owns some, or most, or whatever, some of the IP regarding to the actual port. Not the game license and not the original code that came from the PC, which was made by the FunPimps, but the ported pieces, or at least some of them. Since the FunPimps terminated their contract, and presumably there's a contract clause that allows that. So Telltale could be pissed at seeing their value, which means their rights to publish on console, vanishing, and as a result, they're not in the mood to just hand over the console IP that they have control over. And this is likely, I suspect, due to the contract between Telltale and FunPimps not covering that matter, or not providing for appropriate remedies for the FunPimps to exercise. So they could cancel the license, but they couldn't get control over everything that has been done. A further complication could be the whole relationship with Microsoft and Sony for the actual updating on, well, their systems. And this involves the account management and everything else, and the whole setup that they have. Telltale seems to be in no mood at all to hand that over to the FunPimps. And it's likely the contract does not mention how this needs to be handled. So as it stands, the FunPimps have a few avenues to explore, and not all are legal, even though that's likely the immediate focus. Theoretically, they could report everything again, but that's a huge bit of effort that they're probably not looking forward to. And they would still need to sort out the fact that Telltale has the accounts with Microsoft and Sony. They likely can't go to them and say, hey, trust us, 7 Days to Die is ours now, we want control over it. That would likely require some court document to show that, no, really, this is the FunPimp IP and they should be the one in control. And, going to court takes a long time. And this is where legal effort is needed to help clear out, especially since Telltale is not playing ball. So what does this mean for players? Well, it means nothing good at all for the console players or PC players. While the console port is not by the FunPimps, if they have to spend a lot of time to sort this out, it will have an effect on progress, even on PC, I suspect. Maybe it's a small one, maybe it's a greater one, but likely the top people on the FunPimps are spending a lot of cycles discussing with Telltale and negotiating, and that's going to take their focus away from releasing versions on the PC. So whether that impacts Alpha 17, that's not so likely, but Alpha 18 or Beta 1, whatever they want to call it, is going to have some effect. How much, we don't know. For console players, it's even worse. It means limbo while the business gets sorted out. At best, Telltale folds, either freely or more likely with some monetary compensation for the trouble. And that would involve them handing over control, obviously. At worst, this ends up going to court and having to convince the court system that the fun pimps should get all items under their control. And that can take time. A lot of time. We're talking months, possibly years. I mean, this is not simple. So let's hope that the fun pimps can get an agreement before long, be it through offering a reasonable monetary sum or otherwise their charm, because this can be a mountain to overcome as opposed to a small bump in the road. Don't you just love it when publishers work to screw players rather than support them, eh? Well, that's all for now. I'd say contact Telltale to express your view on their toxic, horrible behavior. But since they're shutting down, that's not likely to amount to anything. But maybe Santa still comes with good news for Christmas. I'll see you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.